Hey, English learners. Welcome back to the English Conversation Studio, your English podcast for real conversation practice and easy English in daily life. I'm Mia.
And I'm Finn. We're really happy you're here with us today. So, Mia, let me ask you a question to start us off. Have you ever felt like your brain is absolutely full of English words, but the second you open your mouth, they all just disappear?
Oh, absolutely. It's like a traffic jam in your head. You know exactly what you want to say. The words are right there, but the cars, or the words, are just stuck. They won't come out.
Exactly, a total traffic jam. And we know a lot of our listeners feel this exact same way. In fact, we read so many comments from you guys every single week saying, Finn, Mia, I can understand English perfectly when I watch videos, but when I am in a fast conversation, it is just too hard to speak.
And you know what? You are completely right to feel that way. It is so incredibly easy to get overwhelmed when native speakers talk at full speed. Your brain goes into a panic mode.
It really does, and that is exactly why we want this podcast to be your calm corner of the internet, a safe space, a place where you can take a deep breath, relax, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and just practice your English without any pressure, without any tests, and without any stress.
Exactly. Today, we are going to talk about why your brain freezes, and more importantly, how to fix it. We are going to unlock that speaking block together.
So, Mia, going back to that traffic jam feeling we just talked about, why do you think that happens? Why is there such a big gap between understanding and speaking?
Well, it actually reminds me of a good friend of mine. Her name is Lucia, and her story is the perfect example of this.
Oh, what happened with Lucia?
Well, a little background first. We both speak Spanish as our first language, and we've known each other for years. So the other night, she came over to my apartment. It was raining outside, so we made some warm peppermint tea, and we were just relaxing and chatting in Spanish on my couch.
That sounds super cozy and relaxing.
It was. And when we speak in Spanish, Lucia is so talkative. She is so full of life. She was telling me these hilarious stories about her pet cat trying to jump on the television. She was laughing loudly, moving her hands around. She just had this huge sparkle in her eyes, you know?
Right, she was totally comfortable. She was just being her true, authentic self.
Exactly, 100%. But then I had an idea. I decided to switch the conversation to English, just for fun, because I know she's been taking English classes for about a year now. And Finn, it was like a heavy wall suddenly dropped down between us.
Wait, really? Just from switching languages? How did her behavior change?
Everything changed, instantly. Her voice got super quiet, almost like a whisper. Her hands, which were flying all over the place before, completely stopped moving. She folded her arms, she stopped making eye contact with me, she kept looking down at the floor and just kept saying things like, wait, I'm sorry, my English is bad.
Wow, that is such a dramatic change. And let me guess, her English isn't actually bad, right?
Not at all. She gets amazing grades on her grammar tests. She understands everything. But she looked at me, gave this heavy sigh, and said something that honestly broke my heart. She said, Mia, I understand English. I really do. I can watch English movies, but when I try to speak to a real person, my mouth just doesn't work. I feel trapped.
Trapped. That is such a powerful word. And honestly, Mia, it's so incredibly common. I think thousands of people listening to us right now are nodding their heads in agreement.
I think so too.
People watch English Netflix shows for hours. They understand YouTube videos. Sometimes they even dream or think in English. But the moment they have to order a coffee or answer a question on a Zoom meeting, speaking feels like trying to open a locked door without a key.
Yes, that is the perfect way to describe it. So let's dive deep into this, Finn. Why does that happen? Why is listening to English so easy and comfortable, but speaking English feels so heavy and impossible?
Well, I think the first thing we have to remember is that listening and speaking are two totally different skills. They happen in different parts of the brain. Listening is a passive skill.
passive, meaning you don't have to create anything, you just receive it.
Exactly. Think about it. Listening is safe. It's private. When you are listening, you can sit alone in your room. If you don't understand something on a podcast, you can just hit pause. You can rewind it. You can turn on subtitles. You can take your time.
That makes so much sense. Nobody is watching you when you listen. There is zero pressure.
Right. But speaking is an active skill. You can't pause real life. You have to move your mouth. You have to choose the right vocabulary words instantly. You have to think about pronunciation. And most importantly, you feel watched.
You feel judged.
Yes, judged. Let's talk about a hypothetical situation. Imagine you are in a coffee shop in New York. You want to order an iced latte. You practice the sentence in your head 10 times while waiting in line.
Oh, I have been there. You repeat it silently. Can I get an iced latte, please? Can I get an iced latte, please?
Exactly. You feel ready, but then you get to the front of the line. The cashier looks at you and speaks really fast. They say, "Hey, what can I get started for you today?" Suddenly, there are 3 people waiting in line behind you. The music is loud, the cashier is staring at you. Your brain goes into a panic.
And instead of saying your perfect sentence, you just point at the menu, mumble, coffee, and run away.
Exactly. But here's the secret, Mia. It's not about your English level. It really isn't. If your mouth freezes in that coffee shop, it's just your brain trying to protect you from fear.
From the fear of making a mistake, the fear of sounding silly to a native speaker.
Yes, it's a psychological block, not a language block. We have this huge passive vocabulary, words we recognize when we hear them. But our active vocabulary, the words we can easily use in the moment, is much smaller.
Let me share an analogy that really helped me understand this. Imagine your brain is a giant house.
Okay, a giant house, I'm imagining it.
Listening to English is like walking through the house and looking at the furniture. You see a beautiful sofa, a nice table, a painting on the wall. You recognize all of it. Ah, yes, that's a table. It's easy to recognize things that are already built.
Right. You don't have to do any hard work. You just observe.
But speaking English, speaking is like someone handing you a hammer, some wood, and some nails and saying, "Okay, build the table yourself, right now, while I watch you."
Oh, wow. That is a fantastic analogy. Building the table is so much harder than just looking at the table. You have to pull the tools out of your own memory.
Exactly. And if you have never built a table before, of course you are going to freeze. So listeners, if you are listening to this right now, you need to hear this. You are not lazy. You are not bad at English. Your brain is not broken. You are just human.
That's right. You are simply learning how to build the table. And let's be honest about something else, Mia. A lot of this fear comes from the fact that we are adults.
What do you mean by that?
Well, think about a baby learning to walk. What happens? They wobble, they lose their balance, they fall down on the floor, they look a little silly.
They fall down 100 times a day.
Right. But we never look at a baby and say, "Wow, you are so bad at walking. You should just stop trying. You look foolish."
Never. We would never say that. We smile, we clap our hands, and we say, "Come on, take one more step. You are doing great."
Exactly. Babies are allowed to make mistakes. But as adults, we hate making mistakes. We have jobs, we have responsibilities. We want to look smart and capable. When we speak a foreign language, we suddenly feel like a child again, and our adult pride hates that feeling.
That is so profound, Finn. We let our ego get in the way. We think, in my native language, I am funny, I am smart, I am confident. But in English, I sound like a 5-year-old.
And that exact thought is what causes the wall to drop down, just like with your friend Lucia.
Exactly. And that is exactly how you need to treat yourself with English. You need to treat yourself like that baby learning to walk. You don't need perfect English. You just need brave English.
Brave English. I love that. Can you explain what you mean by brave English?
Brave English means speaking even when your grammar is a little messy. It means speaking even when your voice shakes a little bit. It means saying, "I go to store yesterday," instead of freezing and saying nothing. The grammar is wrong, but the communication is successful. The other person still understands that you went to the store.
That is so true. Perfect English focuses on the rules. Brave English focuses on the connection, and connection is the whole point of learning a language.
Exactly. So now we know why we get stuck. We know it's about fear and the difference between passive listening and active speaking. But Finn, we need to help our listeners fix this. If a listener's mouth feels stuck right now, what is one gentle, easy step they can take today to start building their active speaking skills?
Okay, let's get into the practical tools. One of the absolute best methods I know to break the speaking block is a technique called shadowing. Have you ever tried this, Mia?
Oh, I love shadowing. It is one of my favorite exercises. But for those listening who don't know, could you explain what shadowing actually is?
Of course. Shadowing is a very simple but powerful practice. It's when you listen to a native speaker speak and you immediately repeat what they say. You copy their voice, like an echo or, well, a shadow.
Right, you follow right behind them.
Exactly. You listen to a sentence and you try to mimic the rhythm, the intonation, and the emotion of the speaker. And the beauty of shadowing is that you don't have to stress about grammar. You don't have to think of the vocabulary words yourself.
The table is already built for you.
Exactly. You just copy the sounds. You are training the physical muscles in your face without the psychological stress of creating the sentence.
Yes, it builds muscle memory. People forget that speaking is a physical activity. Your tongue, your lips, and your jaw actually need physical practice to make new English sounds. If you don't practice moving your mouth, it will feel stiff.
Exactly. Let's do a little experiment. Let's try shadowing right now on the podcast.
Oh, I love this idea. Let's do it. Listeners, wherever you are right now, in your car, walking your dog, washing the dishes, I want you to join us. I'm going to say a short sentence, and I want you to pause and repeat it exactly how I say it. Ready? Take a deep breath. I can speak. I just need to try.
Let's do it one more time. Notice how Mia's voice goes up and down. Feel the rhythm. Say it out loud with us this time.
I can speak. I just need to try.
Perfect. How did that feel? And here is a little secret for our listeners. You don't even have to speak loudly. If you are sitting on the bus or at your office desk right now, you can just whisper it.
Honestly, even just moving your mouth silently without making any sound at all is helpful.
Really? Just moving your lips?
Yes, because every single time you do it, you are sending a positive message to your brain. You are telling your brain, hey, we are safe. Nothing bad happened. We are allowed to speak now. You are breaking down that wall of fear bit by bit.
That makes total sense. It's about giving yourself permission to be slow and to make mistakes in a safe environment. If you take just 5 minutes a day to shadow our podcast or a YouTube video or an audiobook, you will slowly unlock that door.
5 minutes a day. That is all it takes to start seeing a difference. And there is another small technique I want to add, which goes perfectly with shadowing. I call it narrating your life. Have you heard of this, Finn?
I think so, but explain it to us. How do you narrate your life?
So, you know how in movies there is sometimes a voiceover? A voice telling the story of what the character is doing?
Yeah, like a narrator reading a book.
Exactly. You can be the narrator of your own daily life. When you are alone in your house, just speak out loud about what you are doing. Keep it super simple. For example, when you wake up, you say, I am getting out of bed. Now I am walking to the kitchen. I am opening the fridge. I want an egg.
Oh, I see. You're using your active vocabulary in real time, but there's absolutely zero pressure because nobody is listening to you.
Exactly. The cat is the only one listening, and the cat doesn't care about your grammar.
The cat definitely doesn't care. That is such a fantastic tip because, again, it bridges the gap between the silent brain and the physical mouth. If you narrate your life every morning for a few minutes, when you finally go out into the real world, your mouth is already warmed up.
Exactly. You won't feel that sudden shock of speaking English for the first time all day. You've already been doing it.
So, to summarize our main points today, first, remember the difference between passive listening and active speaking. They are different muscles. Second, accept that feeling stuck is a psychological fear of making mistakes, not a sign that your English is bad. You are just afraid to look like a baby learning to walk.
And third, start practicing brave English. Use the shadowing technique to train your mouth muscles safely and narrate your daily life to get comfortable hearing your own voice in English.
Fluency isn't built by speaking fast from day one. It's built by repeating things calmly, making mistakes, and letting yourself be a little messy.
So true, Finn. It really is a journey. So, to all our amazing listeners out there today, remember this: your voice is in there. You have the words. It's just hiding behind a little bit of fear right now. But we are going to bring it out softly, step by step, together.
Absolutely. We really hope this episode helped you feel a little lighter today. We hope you feel less alone in this struggle. And now, as always, we have a question for you.
Yes, we love hearing from our community. We want to know, have you ever experienced that stuck feeling when trying to speak English, just like my friend Lucia?
Tell us your story in the comments below. What was the exact situation? Were you at a coffee shop, at an airport, or in a meeting? Did your mind just go blank?
Don't be shy. We read every single comment, and we absolutely love hearing from you. Your stories help other learners realize that they are not alone.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Finn.
And I'm Mia, and this is your space to grow, speak, and feel understood here on English Conversation Studio.
Take care of your voice, everyone. Be kind to yourself. Your voice is ready when you are.
And remember, your progress doesn't end here. To keep advancing your English skills and keep practicing that brave English, just click on the next video on the screen. See you next week, lovely listeners. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Keep speaking.